Hey guys, what's good? Mike here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. So, a quick way to think about how to get started in becoming a UI UX designer or a product UI UX designer. I want to give you some simple things to think about in this video, some things you can get started on this weekend. I talk about getting started and how to become a product UI UX designer all the time. But I get this question asked so many times, so often, every single day from people coming from all different disciplines, whether you're an illustrator, graphic designer, somebody that does this, that, people, kids that are up and coming, learning UI, UX design in school. So I just got to continue to push the point. I want to provide this advice and these tips. Also, I was talking to my wife's niece, who just found one of my videos on YouTube, because she's studying UI and UX. She's just now getting into this field or this discipline, and she thought it was interesting, and she saw my face. She was like, "Uncle Mike," she's like, "I didn't know you were a UI UX designer." So we were chatting, and that was cool. But even talking to her, she's still sort of like learning it, and there's still some confusion, right? Even in college, like, people are trying to wrap their heads around it. I want to give you some simple ways to approach becoming a UI UX designer, product UI UX designer. They're all the same person, by the way. I'm just labeling them different because when you look at the job titles out there, you might have a UX designer, UI designer, product designer. They're all the same person, okay? Somebody who knows how to design mock-ups for a product and goes through that process with using UX design methods and principles. Let me explain. So the first way to get started in becoming a product UI designer, UI UX designer, everyone has a different approach. Schools have a different approach. They teach you these systematic things in UX design. It can totally confuse you. Okay, the simplest way to get started in this field is learn how to design user interfaces. Learn how to design layouts. Okay, it's almost like I want to say become a web designer, if you will, minus the coding part, and that's the best way to get started. Basically, you want to learn user interface design. All right, how do you do that? You go and download a trial version of Sketch, and you go onto Google Images and you type in UI design examples. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll find a bunch of screenshots. You can go to Pinterest, you can go to Dribbble.com. Take a screenshot, a copy of one particular cool interface, whether it's a mobile design, a desktop app, and you bring that in, you take a screenshot of that, you copy it, and you paste it into Sketch, and you start copying and mimicking what you see. Okay, and that's teaching yourself Sketch, if you will, and that's teaching yourself UI design. Now, you're going to get better at this as you go, as weeks goes on. You want to continue to copy, and mimic these interfaces that you see on the web. And the reason why I push people to start this route is because when you're learning layout, user interface design, layout, screen design, you're indirectly learning how to design from a user-centered point of view perspective. And that's essentially what UX is. Okay, so what I mean by that is as you're becoming better and better with interface layout, basically, as you go through this process, you're actually trying to make this page, this design, aesthetically pleasing as much as possible for the end user. And what are you trying to do there? You're trying to make this page easier to use, easier to fiddle with, easier to browse for the end user. So essentially, you're trying to create a good user experience, if you will, all right? Now, the problem with a lot of people who just stick with UI design is that UI design is one portion of it, okay? There's another portion here that's the UX, it's user-centered design. I'll talk about that in a second, but this one portion UI design, people start here, they start learning how to design Photoshop or whatever, they'll design an interface, then they'll get another one, they'll just start designing another interface, and that's it, and it's just a cycle. You don't go to the next phase, which is the UX design portion, which is just changing your thought process as you design this product now, or this screen. So basically, learning UI design is one aspect of it, okay? So it's the art of perfecting visual UI design, okay? So when you start learning proper spacing, the proper contrast of colors, font sizes, font weights, and a collection of all that, and creating aesthetically pleasing interfaces, you're halfway there. All right. But a lot of people just stop there. They just start designing, they stop. All right, they design an interface, they stop, and they go back. They design another interface, they stop. Design another interface, and they stop. The next phase that you need to take yourself into is user-centered design. Okay, is asking yourself, what is the user trying to do on this app? Okay, that's simple. That's the simplest question you need to ask yourself. What are they here for? Are they here to post an image? If you're designing an app like, let's say, Instagram, are they here to take a photo of themselves and then post an image and comment on a photo, browse photos, what have you? So as you ask yourself, what are they trying to accomplish on this site? You're essentially now diving into this area of user-centered design. Okay, indirectly, you're now gathering requirements for this particular product. So now as you ask yourself these questions, what is the user here for? What are they trying to accomplish? Now you take those collection of questions and answers, and you build out the additional screens for those things. So if the answer to your question is, I'm here to post a comment or to browse photos, like let's just take Instagram for example. I'm here to browse photos and post comments. Okay, so start gathering user interfaces and create a user interface for that particular step and that task. That's it. If I'm here to browse, if I'm here to log into my bank and deposit a check, right? Ask yourself those questions. What am I here for? You will get the answers. Once you have those answers, start designing screens for those actions or those tasks that you're here to complete. That, in a nutshell, is UI UX design. Okay, now you repeat that over and over again for different projects, and now you are a UI UX designer. You can call yourself a product UI UX designer. And that, my friend, is, if you repeat that and as you get better at that, that's basically becoming a product UI UX designer. Okay, and so the more experience you get, the better you become, and the more value you will be in this marketplace. And that's what big tech companies are looking for. That's what startup companies are looking for. They're looking for that particular skill set. And you can get started on exactly what I said this weekend, just simply by learning how to design the user interfaces and asking yourself those questions that I just mentioned. All right, thanks for watching. If you like the things I talk about, hit thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, and always visit my website at mlwebco.com. I'm always happy to receive emails and things from folks and answer questions if if I have time. So use the contact link on my site to ask me any questions. I'll be happy to answer those, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.